This is The Good Show.
Welcome to this week's episode. My name's Surinder. I am your host, and this is The Good Show. And as you can tell, I am out and about and on location. And this is the perfect location. I'm out in Chula Vista, East Lake, at Sterling at Cotavera with my very good friend, Michael Nyland. How are you?
I'm well, yourself.
Good to see you.
as well.
Cheers, my friend. Thank you for the beer.
Let's get it really started right, huh?
I know. Listen, when you told me that you guys, to come down to this place, stone's throw from where I live as well.
Sure.
Never did I imagine I would walk into some place like this. I know everybody can see in the background what we're talking about. And we're going to go into detail. But Michael, first of all, Compass Military Division.
Yeah.
You are also active duty, and you've been active duty over 26 years.
26 just crossed, yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's been crazy. I was enlisted, I did that for a while and then wanted better for me and my family at the time and worked to be an officer and, all over the world, various different lifestyles, different things. And we've been here in San Diego for a while and, I'll have one more tour. I'll take it all the way to 29 and
you'll be done.
I'll be done.
What attracted you to join in the first place?
Oh, for the military?
Yeah.
Ironically enough, I was all ready to go to Western Michigan. And my friend said, hey, I got a thing, and a recruiter wants me to talk to him about flying. It's like, come on, we're already going to Western Michigan. What are you doing? Best friend. And he's like, all right, it's high school. I'll buy you dinner.
Yeah.
But make sure I don't send my life away. So I'm sitting in a recruiting office, looking through an all hands magazine, and they had a dolphin. And I was going to go in marine biology, is what my initial first thoughts were. And I was like, wait a minute, what's this? I actually signed up before Brian did, my best friend.
Oh, wow.
We were supposed to be boot camp buddies. It was kind of funny. He ended up breaking his arm, climbing a tree as an 18-year-old. Don't do that. And then I went to boot camp. And then things that happened, I went in the diver route, just kind of fell through. And so I just kind of went with the path, It didn't stop me. And first tour is Italy and just kept going.
Nice.
But yeah, I come from a really good background of values, I think, and hard work, but I didn't have the money. I'd have to pay for my own college, and it was just the way. I was like, all right, I can do a couple years or 4 years. Here I am 26 years later. But, I'm just the guy from Michigan that my parents, we worked hard.
Yeah.
But I would have gone in some serious debt. And so it was an opportunity to take, and I saw the future of that, and man, it's completely been a different trajectory.
I bet.
Man.
Did you think when you signed on the dotted line, you went in? What were your preconceived notions about what you're walking into? Did you have any idea what boot camp was going to be like?
I didn't. It was really interesting because my grandfather served. We didn't really talk much about it. My uncle served. Didn't talk much about it. 2 uncles actually. My dad didn't. And I never thought it was never in a calculus. And so I was probably in there early December. I signed up December 29th. It was that fast. My mom didn't believe me at first. I did it, and here we go. And the whole world changed.
Did you tell them you were doing it? Or did you?
I did.
Okay.
I think they were kind of shocked and surprised, and then they took the trip down to Lansing. 4 hours away. Came back, and all right, I'm leaving in July. High school sweethearts, all crying, everyone is. But yeah, it was the best thing, and I'm glad it was fast, and I had time to really think about it.
Yeah.
And here we are today. So
26 years later.
Man, all around the world.
As you mentioned earlier on, you're going to do another tour.
Damn.
And then, that'll be wrapping it up to 30 years.
Close to it, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then what I find unique about yourself and your situation is that I've spoken to a lot of service members who don't think of what they're going to do next.
Sure.
And you've already got something set up. You're building, creating things.
Yeah, I like to think I've never closed the door. I still don't know how to do it. I'm going to grow up. That's always our saying. I know it's going to be something. I guess the way I always look at it is it's got to impact humans. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
I always use it. I call it the golden buzzer rule. It's really interesting. I always use the analogy I think anyone can relate to, even like America's Got Talent. They have a shot. They have 2 minutes to change their life. And when those guys go up and they hit that golden buzzer, it changes their life. They have an opportunity. It doesn't always go the West, but I just want something where I have a golden buzzer of some sort, whether it's the real estate side of the house we're doing, whether it's some nonprofits, something's going to impact humans. I've been blessed and had that myself, but I've also had things that we're taken advantage of, and I don't want that for anyone else. So I think that's what creates the fire for me a little bit, and passion. And so same with my sailors, same thing. That's the most rewarding thing is, knowing you did the best and someone was there, right? So, real estate interests me, and obviously that's why I'm still doing this. Business interests me. I would love to own my own business, something nonprofit, just some kind of impact.
Yeah.
So it's gonna click.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this random call.
Yeah.
And say, hey, I want you. And it's going to be completely through the trajectory of our lives. Just like this whole situation, even in real estate. Like, if you asked me 10 years ago, I would never tell you I'm doing this. So now
I was going to say, I mean, what's unique, again, is because you're active duty, and there's going to be a period of time before, obviously, you're going to retire. You're finagling two things. Work and and this is another job, and it's a full-time job.
It can be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I like to call it some seasons a little bit, right? The best thing about it is if our family's going through something or whatever we have, I can put a hold on it, or I have a team that can fill in the gap, and I've done the same thing. But it's a lot. I have to give credit to my parents for the hard work ethic. I think, right? And so staying organized and seeing where it's going to take me. I don't do anything anymore, waste any energy on something that's not going to benefit me in the long run, or somebody else. I used to do that, and I see a lot of people doing that. And I just why you put energy into that? Life's too short,
That reminds me of, I remember, I'm not much into basketball, but I remember Bill Walton. I think it was Bill Walton. Probably got it wrong now. Sorry, but he said, you're making a lot of moves, a lot of action, but there's actually nothing happening.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, everything I do, I like to think it's pretty intentional.
Yes.
Like I'll sit back and think about it. I won't tend to say anything unless I really know it's factual. I won't act unless it's factual. And I won't say I'm not going to do something if I'm really not. And I think a lot of people could take that on a little bit, bored. And I think this was kind of nice about real estate and the military, because it's very actionable, right?
Yes.
And people are counting on you regardless it's a family for a house or family in the military. So. I think it kind of goes with that, And
I think, to your point as well, talking about facts, I know that with you being in real estate, I can only imagine, because I've heard, spouses have asked me things about like VA loans and, home buying, and they've Googled it, then they've been overwhelmed. And, and there's just so much out there, Michael. This is why, again, when it comes to Compass Military Division, it's almost like a one-stop shop. You guys have lived it, you're in it, you understand the lingo, you know how to get the service member from A to B smoothly. Yeah,
and I think it goes back to, and yes, it's definitely one-stop shop, and we've kind of designed it that way because it is overwhelming, as you said. It's your number one earned benefit, and yet they make it hard. And it's not intentionally hard, but they have people in the place where they can kind of you just kind of fire and forget, or there's no active. You have to seek it out. Probably because it's so good, So it goes back to my first experience. I'm not gonna say the company that I finally decided I wanted to go with from a lending perspective and home buying, but I always use the phrase. I had a part-time punk realtor, Southern California, and it's been catered. Everyone uses it now. Part-time punk. They didn't know the market. They didn't know a lot, but they can sell a couple houses on the side and make some money. But that didn't help me out at all. I didn't have the buying power. I didn't have the knowledge. It's the largest purchase you're going to have, right?
It is.
And so I'm not going to lie, that pissed me off.
Yeah.
And then I was at work and I was, complaining about it, And one of the guys, he's a 04, lieutenant commander, goes, hey, call Todd. He's a retired senior chief. He'll take care of you. So I did. Sat down. I was in a house in less than 30 days.
Wow.
And because he sat down with me and my wife, he asked what we wanted to do. He talked about the neighborhoods. He talked about affordability. And then, we kind of went through that, right? But then to carry on with the next step of it, then I got slapped with a supplemental tax bill. Because the house originally was 180, we bought it for 430. The county wants their tax, but they didn't put the money aside. So I got slapped with a $10,000 bill, which a lot of people have that, right? So, and I don't want that for everyone else. So we teach that. But then I was, again, talking to Todd, and I was a little upset, and he's like, "Hey, call Hunter, which you've met, and he says he's gonna help you out, right?" And so that kind of where it began, and because of that, man, I just don't want that for anyone else.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get ahead of the game, and we have people going through our program, 2-3 years ago. They still haven't bought. Doesn't matter. They still keep in touch with us, and when their time is right, but they have the cards in the deck to make the decision, and I feel pretty comfortable about that. We walked in their shoes, boots, if you want to call it that, right? We've done the PCS, we've done, as soon as that person deploys, what happens? Your water heater goes out.
Oh, yeah,
right.
Yeah,
we've all been there.
Yes.
And so, it just happened today. I was driving here today. We've gone through some stuff, and boom, rock hits my windshield. It's like, of course it did that on my oncoming here today, right? But the reason why I only bring that up is because what we kind of instill in the agents that they've either served, their spouse or someone has served, or they've had really extensive military backgrounds where they can understand it, right? But they can feel the empathy, compassion, and they can be that person to go, okay, here's the plumber I trust. And we want to make it where if you're the spouse or someone that has that, they're calling us and go, hey, we already trust you for this. Let me see if he's got a trusted plumber or a mechanic or whatever it is. Or even women's health care. My wife talks about that a lot, There's vets, there's VA stuff. So we're trying to make, with Compass Military, the whole package deal.
Yeah.
You might remember the relocation guides when you and your guy would transfer and the stack would be this thick.
Oh,
of all
I
the
know.
resources,
You didn't,
right? You don't get them anymore because they're like, it's in the internet. So we create the relocation guides and we just hand them out and say, hey, here's a good starting point and how it can help. So
I like that because something, I just spoke to somebody the other day and they said, we know we can get it all online.
Yeah.
But there's nothing beats a tangible reach out, flick through the pages. Oh, there it is. Can everybody see it?
Sure.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, that's it. Even for these properties here, they're always like, there's sometimes feel like it's online. Exactly, that's the way the flyers there. Like, I want a tangible thing. I'm still old school, and I still kind of want that. And I think it's kind of nice to sit back and talk. And then there's a personality that goes along with it. Because if you're handing someone, then you have a conversation, a connection. So here's a link.
Yeah.
So I'd like to kind of instill that with people.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you, as you guys are growing, and the division is growing quite fast.
I like to think so, yeah. It's been a quick 3 years, officially. Sure.
I mean, I remember the Denver retreat that I went, to, and I was looking through some of my cards, and you guys are everywhere. I just spoke to an agent you guys have out in Hawaii.
Sure.
I will never forget Jen Anderson. Never forget. I love that lady. I do.
I do.
You guys are everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's grown really fast. What is the number one question you get asked by veterans?
Probably the number one thing I'd say is probably along the lines of just where do I start?
Okay.
And I think that's pretty crucial because they don't know where to start.
Yeah.
Or how do I buy a house, or how do I get with that? Or it might not even start with a question. It sometimes just starts with a rejection, like I can't do it, right? And that's also a conversation starter, like why?
Yeah.
But I think there's like, I heard there's a lot of red tape, or I heard there's this, right? And but definitely the first question is like, where do I start?
Yeah.
And so I like to think we're a pretty good starting point for that. Or it doesn't start with so much of a question, but we also get the kind of the facts of like, well, I'm only here for a couple of years. Why would I buy?
Yes.
Right? And so then we just talk about a math conversation, appreciation, options of, well, you can use this and gain equity, and there's options, and we kind of share our story. It doesn't work for everyone, and that's why we also have these things here, which they're leased, and they can rent them, right? But that's kind of some of the things we kind of get there is like, show me how and why. Why would this make sense? Because the media, the things you hear, it's everyone's opinion.
Yes.
And I think you kind of need the experts to kind of go, okay, cool, I know they're saying the housing market might be X, Y, and Z, but let me tell you what's on the streets, and we have those kind of tools, so it's kind of nice.
How many times have you moved?
We've moved 6 times so far, so
Okay.
it's not bad. We've been here in San Diego, blessed and not blessed. We have an exceptional family member, but we've been here since 10.
Okay.
And then we moved in our first house in 14.
Yeah.
So we did the housing thing. We moved a lot here.
Yeah.
Did the apartment thing. We did the roommate thing. We did all that.
Yeah. I remember doing the roommate thing.
Yeah, right. But I mean, we've been blessed that we've been able to stay. This won't be our home forever, but it's something we've kind of been blessed. But but I can empathize because I've
Yeah.
been across from Europe
Yes.
to San Diego, Great Lakes to
Yeah.
Newport and back, right? So it's a lifestyle.
Yeah. And again, this is where you guys come into play because it's the lifestyle.
It is.
You understand the lifestyle.
Sure. I mean, like we've talked, and you met the Martins, right?
Yeah.
They just moved to Florida, you know, and there's things with that, and we can connect them with someone in Florida. The biggest thing about it is, I know, because it's very important. My name means something to me, and I know your name means something to you. But my trust in here's a person to connect you with. You know, I need someone I can hand that off to that my friends and family are going to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And I can feel good about it. And so with them, Tampa, here you go. And the qualifications, I know I can't fix personalities, but I can fix the knowledge. I can fix where it's at. And I can fix, they at least understand it. And I think that's step one.
Yeah.
And I don't think, you're not going to find that, I don't think, anywhere else in any other company. And I think that's one of our number one things we kind of want to strive for is the network.
Yeah.
And it's internal network. You know, you mentioned Jennifer,
Yeah.
and you know Dudley. Dudley was just here in San Diego.
Yes,
I went to a game with him. They're now in San Antonio. They're at an event, and I think they're going to DC. He's from DC.
Yeah.
And the connections kind of go along the ways, but you know they're going to be their first calls.
Yes. I love that because it's very intertwined and, like you said, the network and the teamwork.
Yeah.
Now, before I get wrapped up and digress off, I want to talk about this beautiful place.
Right? Yeah.
It really is. That we drove into today. Sterling at Cotavera in Eastlake.
Sure.
And to talk about these apartments and these townhomes.
Yeah, so the
here.
property we're sitting at is Sterling of Cotavera. They're 1, 2, and 3 bedroom townhouses.
Okay.
Tandem garages. That's pretty interesting. You don't see that too often.
Okay.
But the key I would say for this property here is you have every amenity you possibly can need. You don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Shopping is close,
Yeah.
but it's all internal.
Yeah.
Pretty state of the art, and it's within BAH, and that's the kicker,
Yes.
right? And so that's where like maybe your person that doesn't want to buy, but now you're within BAH, right? And so you're letting the government pay for your luxurious lifestyle. I mean, you can look down here. There's a pool. You know, there's a gym. You walked by that earlier. It's all part of it.
Yeah.
It's quiet. You can't hear anything.
I know.
And then if you look behind it even farther, there's Luminary, which we have. Those are luxury apartments. There's about 6 of them right now that are available. They're being built, but that's even a lower price point. So you're dipping into even the lower BH rates, which is nice. And they're all by the same company. But man, the amenities are to the nines.
Well, listen, when we came, Kim actually said, wow, it's like checking into a hotel.
It is.
I was like,
It's designed that way.
Yeah.
So the company that owns all these properties designs it that way. As you can see, there's fireplaces everywhere.
Yeah.
It's cozy, quiet is the way I look at it. And but the interior, which tonight we have the event, and everyone's gonna walk through the floor plans. You know, they're not the old cedar woods. They're nice and they're good finishes, and they just make it where it feels home. You know, and they're dog friendly.
Oh, good, yes.
Good parking,
Yeah.
So I can't really see anything you can't really get down here.
it's beautiful.
It really is. But I think the number one thing for me is it's affordable.
Yes.
I'm so tired of hearing there's nothing out there that people can afford. That's not true. Get what someone knows it. And yeah, are there some things that are completely outrageous in various markets? Of course. But everyone's situation is different. And so what I like about this is I've had a young kid that just started out, you know, and he just got in here today. He's an E4. You know, I brought him from the command, let him see it. He signed a lease, and now he's in.
Wow.
And now he has something that he can call home. He's not going to the barracks. His lifestyle gets a little bit better. And it's temporary, but I think it's like a temporary with luxury attached to it.
Yeah.
Right?
And this is not far from the base
Not at all.
either.
Not at all.
So
yeah, everyone thinks we're so far, and it's 9 miles. It's 9 miles. There's not many more exits left, but it's quiet and everything's built around here, right? And so that's kind of why I like it. But yeah.
see, again, when you think about it, you have obviously moved 6 times.
Sure.
But prior to having kids or prior to being, you know, as you're going through boot camp, you remember your barracks.
Yeah, I do. I'm good with not remembering the barracks too, right?
But I mean, like
Sure.
when I look at these things here today that are affordable, like
are.
you said, and I think to myself, wow, would I stay here or would I stay in the barracks?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Well, and as an E5, like you were working your butt off to get to E5 back in the day for BH. Now they kind of lessened it down to E4s, which is awesome. It's they're seeing it and they're taking care of the military. I can speak mostly for the Navy side of the house. But they're putting money where people realize if you have somewhere to go and get away from it, there's a lot of mental aspects to that. There's and you deserve it.
Yeah.
You don't deserve to be on the poverty line. People live on board a ship. I'm on a 6-month deployment. I'll live then, but let me come home to something I can call home and feel like home. So that's kind of nice. It's kind of nice, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the beauty of we have all these different properties, but there's different. You can have a full family in here in the 3-bedroom.
Yeah.
It's still 1,800 square feet. And a family might have 2 kids. Mm-hmm. You're talking, well within your BH, and look, it looks.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. Safe. Kids are riding bikes around. They're doing their thing. So that's just something to consider, Now,
listen, as I'm looking at these new places, I've got to ask you, because I asked Aaron Penner as well, if he remembered his first deal. Do you remember your first deal?
I do. My very first deal was a house out in Eastlake.
Okay.
On Eastlake Greens. It was a townhouse.
Okay.
And it was a deal with Todd we did, and it was one of our tax guys, and it was his pastor. But I'll say my most amazing deal was, I would say, it was up in Winchester.
Okay.
2 hours north of us, and it's a Marine, E6, and that's where this program hit for me, because he is an E6. He needed to be a little far from Pendleton, but he wanted to afford it. If you know anything about Winchester, in the middle of summer, it's pretty hot. Mm-hmm. So imagine, it was me and my boys, and because I wanted to show houses, and so they know it, they remember it too, but they remember seeing the look on his face, so happy, got the house that he wanted. And it was really cool because he made me a little plaque with my name on it. It says entry and exit when we started looking and that. So in my mind, that was my first one because it's the first one on my own.
Yeah.
But it was an entry point. But that's what we're designed for. But to this day, we're still good friends. We'll talk football.
Yeah.
But man, that E6 owning his own house.
That's amazing. I mean, I remember when my husband was E6. And we were renting, of course, just him and I. And often we have looked back and thought, man, if we had known, so why is it that information, the good information that is needed for our service members to get out there, why doesn't it get out there?
I think the void really comes into it, even when I was a command financial specialist. So you really didn't go to Fleet Family Service Center. I know most of them from the Navy side. I'm not sure if they call them Marines and Army, but they have the identical services. It's almost like if you're going there, it's because you're already in too far of trouble or you've done something bad. No one was seeking it as a resource.
Yeah.
They have it all there. And I think that's just, it's one of those, if you're going there, you're not seeking it out, right? So it's not inviting. It's not a nice presentation. It doesn't come with, you get to know a realtor. You don't get to know your lender because they have to be, unbiased, right?
Yeah.
So it's a financial, here's a pamphlet, here's this.
Yeah, go away, read it.
It's there.
Yeah.
If you were to expand upon that, ask questions, I don't think there's anything that's out there saying, hey, don't do this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I'm never going to go after that. But even the VA website's not the easiest thing to understand. And so I think that's where you get the connection to someone with that. But I don't think it's someone saying that you can't.
Yeah. No, I think sometimes there's so much information out there that it is confusing.
True.
People are overwhelmed with it. I think that, and there's a lot of VA sites.
Sure. Yeah.
So you don't know, what am I navigating here?
Yeah, what I would say if you're looking at any other programs that are out there, right? Because there's a lot of people that prey upon VA. They prey upon the military. And then there's also the sales side of the house, right? And so they're trying to get a quick buck, and they just put flashy little things, and they try to just get clickbait. And so I don't think that's where you get your full portfolio talked about, your full situation. There's some good that's out there, but I think for the most part, it's really not where it needs to be.
Yeah.
And so because of that, as I think most programs or things that are out there, people fill a void. I like to think that's what we're kind of doing here. And trying to being that where, we can be that resource of information.
How can people get in touch with you guys? I know there's a podcast you do as well, Fortitude.
Yeah, Fortitude. We're also going nationwide. We just had an event on Tuesday. That's here in San Diego. But we have links we'll have with that. We're going to get a little more virtual. But we also just compassmilitary.com. It's the easiest way. We're on Instagram. We have our own YouTube. I ask people to look at the YouTube a little bit because there's some cool videos that kind of show who we are. And I think that's the key. You've met them, right?
Yeah.
You've started seeing some people. And I think that's kind of where our winning aspect of it is, because there's everyone that's in it is, I think, is the right thing.
Yeah.
There's a phrase that they said, mission before commission. You heard that in Denver.
Yes.
But that's the biggest thing. Email us. You can email militarydivision.com. You can go on compassmilitary.com. There's a lot of ways to reach us, and we're not salesy. That's the best part. So just kind of reach out, and wherever you are in your career, it doesn't matter.
Now, this property, it's open now, so people can come down
absolutely.
now?
Yeah. So tonight's our grand opening for us actually featuring it. In this complex here, where there's 212 units still available. There's over 200 in the other one over there, and so they're all in phase 1. So
I love it.
There's actually a lot of good move-in specials right now. So come on down.
I'm gonna go check out a couple because
please do.
it just, again, it's almost like it's a hidden gem out in Eastlake.
Sure.
So I can see the mountains. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. I can see Kim sitting over there having a little white claw. Cheers, girl. There you go. Yeah. As we drove in here, Kim was like, "Hey, maybe I should get one of these places."
Right? It is luxurious. It is like a real resort.
It is. It's beautiful. It really is. We're going to take a look. We're going to walk around. I want you to tell our audience two of the top things that, as a realtor, if somebody's like, hey, I want to buy a house, because I understand this, you've known people for years before they've purchased a home, because it's just that kind of process,
It can be, sure.
When should somebody reach out to you? When the minute they're thinking of buying or selling, or is there a time frame?
Yeah, I think when you just want to start understanding it, right? You can, depending on your credit, a lot of people, they start with, I always hear, well, I have bad credit, so there's no way they're going to even start. Well, that's not the right approach. I think what I always say, where do you want to be in 5 years? Okay. And wherever that path kind of lies would be a smart move. But I wouldn't say, don't think because your credit's bad you can't do something, because there's programs that can fix that. So it is so conditional based, and I hate to have that as an example, but I think when it's right for you, right? But I think most people, when they start understanding the value, the appreciation, you own it, it's your asset. You can't jump into your own Apple stock. You can't. You can't live in it, right? You can live in your house. So it's an asset.
That's a good point.
It is. Well, it is true, right? You can have $300,000 of Apple, but you can't live in it if something happens, right? You can live into a house. And I use it as an example, like, you own it. Mm-hmm. And I wanted that soul sign so bad that I want that for everyone else, because now we own a tangible asset. And so what I would say is, to get started, is just understand what that means and how it benefits you and your family, and then find out where that path is, where it's going to lead you. Because knowing it, you'll be able to make better decisions. Okay, well, I'm not leaving here for a little bit. I'm going to Tampa in 2 years. Okay, well, let me get prepped. Get my finances in order. Let's get my credit repaired. Let's put some money aside. I might need a down payment. I might, whatever it is, and then go. That's kind of my recommendation. But I know it's kind of a longer answer, but if you and Kim had two different questions and want to know where to start, it's going to be different.
Yeah, that's true.
But what I will tell you is, we'll give you all the resources to make the decision upon the time in which it is right for you or your family. That makes sense.
That makes total sense.
Okay.
And listen, I want to thank you for your time, because I noticed this townhouse is going to open up, and I want to go in and I want to check it out.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I mean, it looks absolutely fantastic. And then there is another property you guys have that's over there.
Yeah, so the other one over there is called Luminari.
Luminari, okay.
And then we also own another one that is called Artesian at Askaya, which is a little farther down the road. They're all within a couple of miles of each other. Yeah.
I love it. It's just new communities just springing up. I mean, and it's beautiful.
I like to think so.
Michael, it has been good to chit-chat with you.
Always good talking to you.
I want to follow up on this,
do it. Yeah, sure.
to see, how's it going, and people moving in and all that good stuff. Especially, again, to your point, it is so affordable for military. That's the best thing about it. So we're going to go check it out. It's good to see you.
You too. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Me and Michael, we're out.
Thanks for tuning in to The Good Show. I hope you have been inspired by today's conversation. If you loved what you heard, help us spread the word. Follow me on Instagram @The Good Show.